What's up everybody, stress-free, back again with another PoE 2 video. You're going to be taking a look at the class Ascensions. It's basically one of the last phases of your class progression. The way you start ascending is by doing the Ascension trials. We'll go over that towards the end of the video. But here we're going to take a look at all the ascending classes that come in early access. Every class is going to have 3, but during early access there's going to be only 2 available. Now let's get into it. First, we're going to take a look at the Ascendency tree for the Stormweaver. The first node we got here is Scouring Winds. It reads exposure you inflict lowers the effective resistance by 20%. Next one we have Tempest Caller. Grants a skill, Elemental Storm. Triggers Elemental Storm on critical hits with spells. And the spell itself is create a stationary fire, cold, or lightning storm on a target location for duration based on the highest elemental damage type of the hit that triggered the storm. Hits which do not deal elemental damage will not trigger the storm. This is probably like one of the most interesting nodes. I'm definitely probably gonna be checking this one out. Next we got the third node, Rain Dancer. Elemental Storm has 150% more cooldown recovery rate. This is if you focus on Elemental Storm, you could go towards this direction. Next we got number 4, fourth node, we got Heavy Snows. Target can be affected by 2 of your chills at the same time. Your chills can reduce action speed by up to maximum of 35%, 25 less magnitude of chill you inflict. And the 5th one in this direction is Shaper of Winter. All damage from his contributes to the chill magnitude. So this section basically focuses if you will go in towards the ice path. Next we got number 6. The 6th node is Strike Twice. Targets can be affected by 2 of your shock spells at the same time. 50% less shock duration. Number 7 node, Shaper of Storms. All damage from his contribute to shock chance. So this section also focuses on if you want to be purely lightning based. Next we have number 8, Constant Gale. You have Arcane Surge. What is Arcane Surge? Arcane Surge, it grants 10% more cast speed and 20% more mana regeneration. Number 9, Force of Will. 1% increase effect of Arcane Surge on you per 50 maximum mana. And the last one, the 10th node, Heart of the Storm. 40% of the elemental damage taken recouped as energy shield. This one's an interesting one. The node here, we got a little demo of the Tempest Caller node, which grants Elemental Storm. Here we can see how when you cast spells, it's casting those little storms on the ground. I'm definitely going to be checking out the Stormweaver. Next, let's take a look at the Chronomancer Ascendency tree. Here we got the first node, Now and Again. Skills have 33% chance to not consume a cooldown when used. And number 2, we have Unbound Encore. Grants a skill, Time Snap. What is Time Snap? Time Snap manipulates time, resetting the cooldowns of your other skills. Number 3, we have Ultimate Command. Grants a skill called Time Freeze. Time Freeze releases a large wave that stops time from all affected enemies for a duration. Duration is lowered the more time the enemy has had time stopped for them. Next, got number 4, Footprint in the Sand. Grants a skill, Temporal Rift. Temporal Rift passively leaves after images of your recent past, casting spell to return to the oldest after image. Start point allocation and resetting your life, mana, and energy shield to the values they had at the time. So basically like some kind of backtrack skill. Pretty cool. Number 5, we got Quicksand Hourglass. Every 12 seconds, gain 50% more cast speed for 4 seconds. Number 6, we got Apex of Momentum. Enemies' presence are slowed by 20%. Here we got number 7, Circular Heartbeat. 30% of your damage taken recouped as life. Could be pretty strong. And 8, Rapid River. And number 8, the Rapid River. Recoup effects instead occur every 4 seconds. Now let's take a look at some of the preview of some of these skills in action that they provided for us. Here we're taking a look at Ultimate Command. The Chronomancer freezes the enemies in time. Next we got Temporal Rift. There you can see how they return back to the position. That's pretty cool. Then we have Time Snap. Very interesting Ascendancy. Has a nice flavor to it. Next, let's take a look at the Warrior Ascendancy called the Warbringer. First node we're looking at is Animal's Weight. It breaks armor equal to 10% of the hit damage dealt. Second node we got Imploded Impacts. You can break enemy armor to below 0. Next, the third node we have Jade Heritage. Grants a skill Encased in Jade. Gain a stack of Jade every second. Consumes all stacks of Jade to grant a buff for duration. Absorbs all damage from hits. up to maximum based on the amount of jade consumed. While encased, you cannot move or perform actions. Next we have the fourth node, Answered Call. Grants a skill, Ancestral Spirits. Trigger Ancestral Spirits when you summon a totem. Each of your totems will summon an Ancestral Spirit minion to fight for you. If the totem that has summoned the minion dies, then the Ancestral Spirit will too. Some kind of minion build. Number 5, we got a Wooden Wall. 20% of damage from hits is taken from your nearest totem's life before you. Basically, we got some kind of tanking totems. Number 6, we got Renly's Training. Gain 40% base chance to block from equip shield instead of a shield value. Number 7, we got Turtle Charm. 35 less block chance. Can block damage from all hits while shield is not raised. Number 8, you got Warcaller's Bellow. Corpses in your presence explode when you Warcry, dealing 25% of their life as physical damage. Number 9, you got Great Wolf's Howl. Ignore Warcries and cooldowns. Next, let's take a look at these skills in action from the little demo we provided. Here we got demo Answered Call. When you summon a totem, you summon spirits. You can see you get some minions next to you. Next, we're looking at the Jade Heritage. That's when you become like a statue and you become immune. And the last time we got the Warcaller Bellow when you blow up the corpses. And we also got Great Wolf's Howl where you ignore the Warcry cooldowns. Interesting class for those that like a pure melee type of build. Next, let's take a look at the Titan class. The first node is Stone Skin, 50% more armor from the equipped body armor. Number 2 is Earthbreaker, 20% chance for slam skills you use yourself to cause aftershocks. Aftershocks are bursts of area damage that occur after initial impact of the skill causing them. If not otherwise specified, the aftershock will deal the same damage as initial impact in the same area. Number 3, we got Ancestral Empowerment. Every second slam skill you use yourself is ancestrally boosted. What that means is that ancestrally boosted skill has 20% more damage and area of effect. Next we got number 4, Colossal Capacity. Carry a chest which has 20 inventory slots. Interesting. Number 5, we got Hulking Form, 50% increase effect of small passive skills. Number 6, we got Crushing Impact. Your hits are crushing blows. Crushing blows cause heavy stun on enemies that are primed for stun. Normal enemies are primed for stun when they have at least 40% heavy stun buildup. Magic enemies are instead primed at 60% buildup, rare at 70%, and unique at 80%. Number 7, we got Surprising Strength, 40% more damage against heavy stunned enemies. What are heavy stun enemies? Hit an enemy builds up towards a heavy stun based on the damage dealt. Different enemies have different heavy stun thresholds and durations, which is very large monsters have a high heavy stun threshold. Players cannot be heavily stunned. While enemies heavily stunned, they cannot act and count as immobilized. Physical damage and melee damage each cause 50% more heavy stun buildup. These bonuses are multiplicative with each other. And number 8, Mysterious Lineage, 15% more maximal life. Next, let's take a look at a little demo preview of all the skills in action. First, we got the Earthbreaker. You can see how it's causing the aftershocks after the initial hits. Next, we have the Crushing Impact. It hits are crushing blows. And next, we got Surprising Strength. 80% more damage with heavy stun enemies. Looks like a pure like barbarian melee class. That's all about stuns. Let's take a look at the Ranger Ascendancy class called Deadeye, which specializes in being a marksman or a markswoman in this case, basically raining arrows from a far distance. Let's take a look at the first node. We got Avidity, 30% chance that if you would gain frenzy charges, you instead gain up to your maximum number of frenzy charges. Number 2, we got Thrilling Chase. Benefits from consuming frenzy charges for your skills have 50% chance to be doubled. Number 3, we got Eagle Eyes. Have no accuracy penalty at distance. Then we got 4A, Point Blank. Projectiles deal 20% more hit damage to targets in the first 3.5 meters of their movement, scaling down with distance travel to reach 0% after 7 meters. Then we got 4B, Far Shot. Projectiles deal 0% more hit damage to targets in the first 3.5 meters of their movement speed, scaling up with distance travel to reach 20% after 7 meters. Next we got 5, Endless Munitions. Skills fire additional projectile. Number 6 we got Called Shots. You can apply additional mark. We got number 7, Gathering Winds. Gain tailwind on skill use. Lose all tailwind when hit. What is Tailwind? Tailwind is a stacking buff which grants 1% increased movement speed, 3% increased skill speed, and 50% increased evasion rating per stack for 10 seconds. Refreshing whenever you gain another stack, maximum 10 stacks. And the last one is Windward, 3% less damage taken per Tailwind. Here we gotta take a look at a little preview of some of the skills in action. Here we got Endless Munitions. You can see that it's firing extra projectiles. Then we got Gathering Winds. And we got Eagle Eyes. You don't have to invest into accuracy. Pure ranger experience if you guys are into that. Overall, solid class. Definitely gonna be one of my favorites to check out. Next, let's take a look at the Ascendency class called Pathfinder, which specializes in poisons and different kinds of concoctions. The first note we got is Connected to Chemistry. 50% more flash charges gained. The second note we're looking at is Enduring Elixirs. Life flask effects are not removed when unreserved life is filled. Life flask effects do not queue. Number 3, we got Contagious Contamination. The most damaging poison enemies you kill is spread to other enemies within 1.5 meters. Number 4, Overwhelming Toxicity. Double number of poisons you can inflict on enemies. 35% less poison damage duration. Here we gotta take a look at the brew concoctions. We got the 5A Poisonous Concoction. Consume charges from your mana flask to throw a bottle that explodes, dealing unarmed chaos attack damage in the area. Poison inflicted this way skill has more effect. We got 5B Fulminating Concoction. Consume charges from your mana flask to throw a bottle that explodes, dealing unarmed lightning attack damage in the area and inflicting lightning exposure. Now, next we got the 5C Shattering Concoction. Consuming charges from your mana flask to throw a bottle that explodes, dealing unarmed cold attack damage in the area and inflicting cold exposure. We got the 5D Explosive Concoction. Consumes charges from your mana flask to throw a bottle that explodes, dealing unarmed fire attack damage in the area and inflicting fire exposure. 5E, we got the Bleeding Concoction. Also removes charges from your mana flask and throws an explosion, dealing unarmed physical attack damage in the area. The bleeding inflicted this way has more effect. Number 6, Traveler's Wisdom. Number 6, Traveler's Wisdom grants 5 passive skill points. Number 7, we got Running Assault. 30% less movement speed penalty when using skills while moving. And 8, Relentless Pursuit. Your speed is unaffected by slows. Next, take a look at the little demo to show us for how these skills are working. We got a little demo of the Bleeding Concoction in action. Then we got the Fulminating Concoction. Contagious Contamination, where the poison spreads to other enemies. And the next one we got Overwhelming Toxicity, where it doubles the poisons you can inflict on enemies. And next one we got Running Assault, where you got less penalty while using skills moving. A solid class that specializes in poisons and kind of like damage over time. Next, let's take a look at the witch ascendancy called the Infernalist. It specializes in shapeshifting like demon forms, summoning infernal hounds, and primarily fire damage. Let's take a look at the first node called Alter Flesh. 20% of the cold damage taken is fire, 20% of lightning damage taken as fire, 20% physical damage taken as chaos damage. The second node, Dedeye's Gaze, reserve 25% of life, +1 to maximum mana per 6 maximal life. Number 3, we got Dedeye's Will, reserve 25% of life, +1 to maximum spirit per 25 maximal life. Number 4, we got Dedeye's Hand, reserve 25% of life, +1 to maximum energy shield per 8 maximal life. Now we got number 5, Demonic Possession, and it grants a skill called Demon Form. Demon Form shapeshift into a demon, vastly boosting the power of your spells. You gain Demon Flame every second you remain in Demon Form, causing your life to be lost at an ever-increasing rate. Revert to Human Form if you reach 1 life. Use a skill that is in a spell, or reactivate this skill. Next we got the 6th node, Master Darkness, maximum 10 Demon Flame. The 7th node we got Pyromantic Pact. Maximum mana is replaced by maximum Infernal Flame. Gaining Infernal Flame instead of spending mana for skill cost. Take maximum life and energy shield as fire damage when Infernal Flame reaches maximum. Lose all Infernal Flame on reaching maximum Infernal Flame. 10% Infernal Flame lost per second if none was gained in the past 2 seconds. Bringer of Flame, while not on low Infernal Flame, all damage from you and allies is in your presence contribute to ignite chance and magnitude. Number 9, we got Seed and Body. While on high Infernal Flame, you and your allies in your presence gain 20% of max 20% of damage as fire. Number 9, we got Seed and Body. While on high Infernal Flame, you and your allies in your presence gain 20% of damage as fire damage. Number 10, we got Loyal Hellhound. It grants a skill Summon Infernal Hound. 20% of damage from hits is taken from your Hellhound's life before you. And then we got the 11th node. We got Grinning Immolation. Become ignited when you deal a critical hit, taking 50% of your life and energy shield as fire damage per second. 30% more critical damage bonus. Next, let's take a look how these skills function in a little preview. First, we got the Loyal Hellhound here. You can see it was summoned and starts attacking mobs around you. Pretty good for soaking up damage. Next, we got the Pyromantic Pact. It basically changes your mana into this new resource type, and you can see that it just leaves some kind of ball or like thing on the ground. Next, we got the Bringer of Flames. And here we go, we got the Demon Form. We do extra damage, but your HP starts burning down. So basically, you need to have a lot of health regen to keep this active. Look at the Blood Mage Ascendency class for the Witch. The first talent on the tree is Sanguinary. Grants a skill, Life Remnants. Skill gains a base life cost equal to the base mana cost. What are Life Remnants? Drink the blood of your enemies to restore your life. While active, enemies you kill have a chance to spawn a Life Remnant, and critically hitting a target spawns a Life Remnant every few seconds. Picking up a Life Remnant grants you life, which can overflow maximum life. The second node we got is Vitality Siphon. 10% of your spell leached as life. Number 3 is Open Swords. Your curses have infinite duration. Number 4, we got Blood Barbs. Gain 10% of damage as extra physical damage. Elemental damage also contributes to bleeding magnitude. We got number 5, Gore Spike. 1% increased critical damage bonus per 40 life. We got number 6, Sunder the Flesh. Base critical hit chance for spells is 15%. Then we got number 7, Grasping Wounds. 25% of life loss from hits is prevented. Then that much life is lost over 4 seconds instead. Number 8 is Crimson Power. Gain energy shield from equipped body armor as extra maximal life. Now let's take a look at some of the skills in action from a little demo. First, you have the Sanguinary. You can see that the life remnants are being spawned. It's like a little red blob. Next, we got Crimson Power. It gives you more life based on your energy shield. Vitality Siphon, where it's leeching spell damage, it leeches life. And we got here Gore Spike, that increases your critical strike damage. It should be interesting for those that are into the minion type of build. Next is the Monk Ascendency class called the Invoker. It specializes in elemental damage and has unique skills like Meditate and Unbound Avatar. So let's take a look at them. First node we got is Lead Me Through the Grace. Gain 1 spirit for every energy shield on equipped body armor. Gain 1 spirit for every 15 evasion rating on equipped body armor. And I gain spirit from equipment. Number 2, and Protect Me from Harm. Evasion rating also grants physical damage reduction, 40% less evasion rating. 3, Faith is a choice. Let's take a look at Meditate. Channels to recharge energy shield. Can overcharge energy shield up to double its normal maximum. Challenge ends when you take damage or your energy shield is double its normal maximum. This skill cannot be used if your energy shield is already double its normal maximum or you have no maximum energy shield. Next we have the 4th node, I Am the Blizzard. You gain 10% of damage as extra cold damage on freezing enemies to create chilled ground. And we got another version of the similar skill, but it's a lightning one. It's number 5, I Am the Thunder. Gain 10% of damage as extra lightning damage and 25% chance on shocking enemies to create shocking ground. Then 6, we have an I Shall Rage. It grants a skill Unbound Avatar. What's Unbound Avatar? Is gain Unbound Fury by inflicting elemental ailments with hits on enemies. Once you reach maximum Unbound Fury, consume it to become unbound for a duration, vastly augmenting your elemental prowess. Next we have number 7, the Soul Spring Eternal. Metal skills gain 35 more energy. Then we got number 8, Sunder My Enemies. Critical hits ignore non-negative enemy monsters' elemental resistances. And then number 9, and Scatter Them to the Winds. Grants skill called Elemental Expression. Triggers Elemental Expression on melee critical hits. And the way it works, creates a fiery explosion, an arcing bolt of lightning, or an icy wave of projectiles. The chance for an explosion is proportional to your strength, or a bolt proportional to your dexterity, and for the wave, proportional to your intelligence. Now let's take a look at a little demo of how these skills work. Here we got a little demo of the scatter them to the winds. So when you crit, a bunch of elemental stuff just pops off. Next we got Faith is a Choice, where it's a meditation skill. You could basically double up your energy shield, a defensive choice. Next we have I Am Blizzard, where you augment your skills to do more cold damage. And also in the same way, you could do the same thing for lightning damage with the I Am the Thunder. And I Shall Rage, a little preview over here. It grants you the avatar and basically buffs up your elemental damage. Overall, very solid class. Definitely probably gonna be using it as my main right now, as the league starter. We're gonna see how good the melee redesign is for PoE too. Very nice, interesting class. And next, let's take a look at the other monk ascendancy called the Acolyte of Chayula. Pretty much focuses on like chaos and looking into the breach type of gameplay. Let's go over the nodes in the tree. First one we got is Ravenous Doubts. Your mana leech is instant. The second one we got Consuming Questions. You cannot recharge energy shield. Mana leech effects also recovery energy shield. Number 3 we got Chayula's Gift, plus 10 to maximum chaos resistance. Chaos resistance is doubled. In the fourth node we got here Reality Rending. 23% chance to gain 25% of the damage with hits as extra chaos damage. 13% chance to gain 50% of damage with hits as extra chaos damage. And 7% chance to gain 100% of the damage with hits as extra chaos damage. Next we got the fifth, Walking Dream. Grants a skill Into the Breach. What is Into the Breach? It creates a breach around you, allowing you to see nearby flames of Chayula. You are considered to be in the breach while this skill is active. And let's go over what the Flame of Chayula is. Collecting Flames of Chayula grants the following bonuses. Red Flames of Chayula leech 7% of your maximum life to you. Blue Flame of Chayula leech 7% of your maximum mana to you, and the Purple Flames of Chayula provide you a stacking buff, granting 7% of the damage as cast over 5 seconds, and stacks up to 10 times. Next we got 7, Embrace of the Darkness, removes all spirit, base maximum darkness is 100. For each life or energy shield lost to damage, reserve 1 darkness. Instead of possible, darkness reserve lasts for 10 seconds. Plus 5 to maximum darkness per level. Embrace Grasp of the Void. Gains 1% of damage extra chaos damage per 20 on reserved darkness. And we got number 9, Inner Silence. 50% reduced darkness reservation duration. Alright, next let's take a look at the little demo they provided of the skills in action. Here we got Embrace of Darkness. Then we have Grasping the Void. And we got Chayula's Gift. Ravenous Doubts. Consuming Questions. And the main one here is Walking Dream. Here you see the little flames popping up, and you could collect them for the extra buffs. Could be a different approach than having the Elemental Monk, is having this Chaos Monk. Interesting class to try out. Next, let's take a look at the Mercenary Ascendency, the Witch Hunter. Specializes in hunting big bosses, and basically some kind of like anti-magic type of hunter with things like sorcery word as spells and like calling strike to execute enemies. Let's take a look at the Ascendancy tree. The first one we're looking at is Weapon Master. 20 passive skill points become weapon set skill points. Second node we got Pitiless Killer. You get Calling Strike. Calling Strike kills normal enemies if their health is at 30% or below. Magic enemies are instead killed at 20%. A rare is at 10. A unique's at 5. These thresholds are checked before the damage of the hit is applied. Next we got Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Decimating Strike is against full life enemies. Remove between 5 and 30% of life before the damage of the hit is applied. Next we got Witchbane. The fourth node we got is Witchbane. Enemies have maximum concentration equal to 40% of their maximum life. Break enemy concentration on hit equal to 100% of the damage dealt. Enemies regain 10% of concentration every second if they haven't lost concentration in past 5 seconds. And what is concentration? Enemies have less cooldown recovery rate the lower their concentration, scaling down to 50% less cooldown recovery rate when concentration is at 0. Number 5, we got No Mercy, deal with 30% more damage to enemies based on their missing concentration. Then we got number 6, Obsessive Rituals, grants a skill called Sorcery Ward, 50% less armor and evasion rating. Sorcery Ward passively manifests a protective barrier which takes elemental damage from you until it is depleted. The barrier instantly recharges, so its full value a short time after it stops taking damage or fully depleted. Next we got Ceremonial Ablution, 50% increased effect of Sorcery Ward. Sorcery Ward becomes 50% faster. And the last one, 8th node, we got Zealous Inquisition, 100% chance for enemies you kill to explode, dealing 100% of their maximum life as physical damage. Chances double against undead and demons. Okay, let's take a look at some of these skills in action. Here we got Obsessive Rituals, where you got a bubble, basically a protective shield against elemental spells. Next we got the Zealous Inquisition. There's a 10% chance that enemies will explode for 100% of their HP. Next we got Judge, Jury, and Executioner, where there's a chance that you could remove between 5 to 30% life before the fight even starts. We got a little demo of him hitting the boss. We got a little example of Wishbane that basically interrupts spellcasters. It looks like some kind of like a boss hunting class you could use to try to farm bosses with. Very interesting class. Next, let's take a look at the last Ascendency class for the Mercenary, the Gemling Legionnaire, where he specializes in buffing your skill gems as one of his specialties. Let's take a look at the skill tree. First one we have is Crystalline Potential, 10% the quality of all skills. The second one here, Implanted Gems, +1 level to all skills. Number 3 we got Advanced Thaumaturgy, 30% less cost of skills. Skill gems have 30% more attribute requirements. Number 4 we have Integrated Efficiency, and grants 3 additional skill slots. 5 we have Gem Studded, you can use 2 copies of the same support gem in different skills. Number 6 we got Thaumaturgical Infusion, +1 to maximum cold resistance per 4 blue support gem socketed, +1% to maximum fire resistance per 4 red support gem socketed, and 1% to maximum lightning resistance per 4 green support gem socketed. Number 7 we got Adaptive Capability. Attribute requirements of gems can be satisfied by your highest attribute. And the last one, number 8, we have Enhanced Effectiveness. Inherent bonus from Intelligence, Strength, and Dexterity are doubled. Now let's take a look at a little demo of the skills in action. Integrated Efficiency, we got 3 more extra skills. Then we got Thaumaturgical Infusion, helps out with resistances. Next we got Adaptive Capabilities. Gems can be satisfied by your highest attribute. And then we have Crystalline Potential, basically buffs your skills by 10%. And that's pretty much it. Interesting class to experiment with, have some potential in endgame. And next we're going to take a look how to unlock the ascendancies by completing the ascendancy trials. Yeah, I won't get into all the details here because this is already a pretty long video. So if you guys want me to go make a more detailed video, let me know in the comments. But I'm going to just do a really short explanation of how it happens. Starting in Act 2, you're going to be able to start the ascendancy trial. Once you complete it, you get to select your class. The way they explain the way it works, you got to find the key. Once you find the key, you unlock the trial. And inside the trial, you gotta go through a gauntlet of puzzles and contraptions. So, and you can't lose your. There's gonna be a special resource that's gonna be, if you lose all of it, you're gonna fail the trial. Towards the end of the trial, there's gonna be a boss that you gotta defeat. Once you defeat the boss, you're gonna get the prize, and depends how well you did during the trial. There's gonna be suitcases of chests of loot that you could open up. The better you do during the trial, the more loot you get, and the final prize of the trial is that you get to pick your ascendancy class and you get points into the ascendancy tree. Throughout the game, you're gonna have to repeat this a few times. I think since if it's gonna be based on PoE 1, you could do it another 2 more times. You get another 4 ascendancy points. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more. I appreciate all the support. Till next time.